Let's be real. Kevin Stefanski's look at the man's stank face.
Pretending to be a head coach.
Dang.
Conspiracy theory that Kevin Stefanski purposely sabotaged Baker because he didn't like him. So he wanted to prove to Jimmy Haslam and ownership that he wasn't the guy. So he played him through injury.
Why don't these guys want to be here? Look, I think he'll be a good offensive coordinator somewhere else.
I think he's a fine offensive coordinator.
Fine.
I just think that
he's not a head coach.
What he's proven in Cleveland is that he can't handle everything that goes with being a head coach somewhere. We're gonna move.
I'm not ready to move on.
All right, keep going.
You don't get to be a head coach just because you call yourself a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. I think the only reason Kevin Stefanski still has a job is because he plays a different personality, right? He looks smart. He sounds smart. People think he's thoughtful. If he sounded like a dumb cowboy, they'd have been like, what are you doing? You couldn't figure out how to use Odell Beckham. You ran him out of town. Let's not even talk about Baker because I think he's beside the point right now. It's really easy to blame Baker for all these problems last year, but none of those problems went away. Yep. You couldn't find a spot for Jarvis Landry. He was unhappy and had to leave. Let's not even talk about Baker because I think he's beside the point right now. So you think about players only meetings and think about the toxicity in the locker room last year with the receivers and your quarterback. What are you managing? What are you managing? And in 3 years, you've made the playoffs. When you watch that team stuff, like, does that team look like they want to play for this coaching staff? That team looks disinterested. They have for a while. And again, I go back to the things that aren't even on the field. The locker room issues that we've heard of, the guys not being accountable. None of those problems went away. David Njoku wanted a trade. Kareem Hunt wanted a trade. Why don't these guys want to be here? The only reason we kept them was because we said, hey, sorry, you're under contract. We're not going to trade you.
Yep.
But they didn't want to be here. Look, I think he'll be a good offensive coordinator somewhere else.
I think he's a fine offensive coordinator.
Fine.
I just think that
he's not a head coach.
What he's proven in Cleveland is that he can't handle everything that goes with being a head coach somewhere.
No, when you're the head coach, you have to be the CEO.
And he's not that.
And he's not that. Everybody thinks CEO is an easy job.
If all he has to focus on is being the offensive coordinator, I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he would be fine. And I think that's how he built a reputation in Minnesota, right? Like he was good at that side of the game. But you can't not care about the other phases of the game when you're the head coach. And you can't not care about leadership and culture. This team, week in and week out, and you can't win games like that.
So I guess, I mean, I think we've hit on this subject enough, and I think we are going to just go ahead and move on. We're going to move on.
I'm not ready to move on.
All right, keep going.
You don't get to be a head coach just because you call yourself a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator.
It feels bad, Kevin.
Now I'm done.
Dylan's really acquitted himself nicely, has a very good feel for what we're doing. He's very good in and out of the huddle, on the move, making plays from the pocket. So he's doing a nice job, and like any rookie, he's making mistakes, and he's learning from those mistakes, which I appreciate.
Conspiracy theory that Kevin Stefanski purposely sabotaged Baker because he didn't like him. So he wanted to prove to Jimmy Haslam and ownership that he wasn't the guy. So he played him through injury, made him throw the ball a bunch of times, knowing he was hurt, to make him look worse so he can go get who he thought was his guy. I completely respect Baker. I think Baker is a solid quarterback. Remember, I like what Baker's doing. I respect Baker.
Ooh-wee. Shedeur got that quarterback room looking real suspect now. Look at Dylan's face. Look at his face, man. Come on. He not even happy for Shedeur. He not even clapping, nothing. Hey, he know time's about to be real uncomfortable. Deshaun, he ain't tripping. He got $230 million. He ain't even tripping at all. He like, well, I'm finna be up out of here anyway.
Let's be real. Kevin Stefanski's body language towards Shedeur Sanders speaks louder than any press conference soundbite. You don't need to be a body language expert to see it. Just look at the man's stank face every time Shedeur's name is brought up. It's standoffish, it's distant, it's cold. There's no warmth, no approachable vibe, no genuine smile. Instead, it's that same tight jaw, arms folded, stiff posture that screams one thing, discomfort. And I'll tell you exactly why. Number one, the standoffish, stank face. Kevin doesn't have to say a word. because his face already tells the story. Every time Shedeur makes a play, or is mentioned in the same breath as the QB competition, that stank face appears. He looks annoyed, almost bothered, as if Sanders' presence alone is an inconvenience. That's not the look of a coach embracing his young quarterback. It's the look of a man bracing himself. Number 2. Ice cold look. No compliments, just distance. Go back and listen. When Shedeur threw 2 touchdowns in the preseason with 0 interceptions, did Kevin praise him? Nope. Silence. And crickets. But when Dillon Gabriel threw an interception, suddenly it's not Gabriel's fault. It's the receivers who should have caught the ball. Wow. Sound like he is in denial and wants to protect his teacher's pet Gabriel. That double standard is hard to ignore. Stefanski will go out of his way to highlight Dillon's positives. But when it comes to Shedeur, Kevin is giving stank face. No compliments. Just cold distance. Number 3. Dillon Gabriel's Kevin's draft pick. His handpicked project. That's why Gabriel gets protected, praised, and propped up, even when the performance doesn't back it up. Shedeur? He's not Kevin's guy. He's a 5th rounder who fell into the Browns' lap. And because Kevin didn't draft him, there's no personal investment. The stank face comes from the fact that Shedeur is outperforming his pet project. And Kevin can't control the narrative. Number 4. The depth chart tells the story. The so-called competition looks like anything. Shedeur put points on the board, while Dillon didn't. How is that fair? Stefanski says it's about competition, but the depth chart shows bias. It's politics, not performance. And every time Shedeur's name comes up, Kevin's stank face shows he knows people are catching on. Number 5. Shedeur makes him uncomfortable. Why? Because Shedeur has the poise, confidence, and playmaking ability that threatens the established order. He's composed, calm under pressure, and already has the fans buzzing. That energy is magnetic, and Kevin can't mask the fact it bothers him. The stank face isn't just about Shedeur presence. It's about what he represents. A quarterback who doesn't need Kevin's validation to shine. Look at the body language, look at the words, and most importantly, look at the double standards. Kevin Stefanski may talk about competition, but his stank face tells the truth. Shedeur Sanders has already shaken the room, and the head coach doesn't look ready to handle it. Oh, and another thing, once Shedeur leaves that city, we are out. Deuces. Thanks for stopping by.